Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. And today's video, we're going to be doing some drill with me, and we're going to chat and have some fun. Well, I guess if you consider sitting here listening to me fun. It's Jen. I hope everyone's doing great. I am slowly working on this. Um, I am on her dress still. I have not diamond painted in a couple of days, just because we I got the paint for the apartment. They finally brought me the paint, so I am trying to get prepared for that. And I we're moving. We also got a couple of pieces of furniture, and so that Miranda's boyfriend, those of you that know who he is, John, his boss gave us a couple of lamps and some other things, and so we've been getting those together. And yesterday we finally got everything moved out of here, or moved out of the living room that needed to be put out of the living room, so that I could move the my drafting table and all that out into the living room, so I could have a little craft area, because I feel bad making Sky leave out of my bedroom when I want to record a video. So this way, he'll be able to stay back here. And not only that, for internet reasons, because my internet likes to sometimes restart itself. Sometimes on my laptop, it has a mind of its own. So we're working on that now. Hopefully I'll be able to move everything out there, if not this weekend, the beginning of the week. So I know I was supposed to have it all moved out there this week, but because of other things that's been going on and trying to get everything situated, now that I have the paint, I've kind of been going about everything backwards. So we're getting there slowly but surely. So, but yeah, we're just gonna diamond paint today, and I'm just gonna go on with it. But have you ever been? Now this may be just me. Maybe this is another reason why I haven't diamond painted so much lately. When you get close to the end of a diamond painting, it feels like it takes forever to finish it. Not because you're slow, but just because, you're like, I guess the end is too close that you just want to prolong it. And I think that's my problem. I think that's, one reason why I've kind of been slow about getting this one finished. I'm excited about starting my next one, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what my deal is and who knows? I have no clue. And it's not because the cross stitch is taking up my time, which, it's, I'm trying to divide my time up between that and diamond painting. But, just lately, everything's been kind of going on at once. So we just haven't, I just haven't done much. So this week, like I said, let's see, this week has been, pretty good. Let's see, I'm trying to think where to start here. What is a good thing to start? I guess I'll start with last week. Was watching the news. Was watching the news the other day, and well, and I was, what was I doing? I think I was vacuuming. No, what was I doing? I can't remember. But anyway, I was doing something, and it made me stop The story made me stop what I was doing and just sit there and in complete total bafflement because I just don't understand some people. Anyway, I was watching the news, the local news here, and all of a sudden, this story came on about this man that had wrestled a shark. Okay, really? So I was just like, okay, why? Well, I'm not sure. The way it sounds is that the shark had gotten too close to the beach, I'm assuming, and he kind of was like, I guess, stuck. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Either that or, the shark was, swimming around, and I guess, people got scared or something. So this man decides to take it upon himself to wrestle with this shark. Now, mind you, I'm all this extreme stuff. Okay, whatever. So at first I thought, okay, it's a joke. That's what I thought at first. I thought, and I started to laugh at it. But then I realized, okay, well, this is not a joke. This dude, this is local. This is like an hour away from me. And I thought, what the heck is wrong with people? I can understand if you're have experience in this, but really? And this wasn't a little itty bitty shark either. This was a freaking big flipping shark. And I just sat there. I was like, okay, what else is new? What else are they going to put on here about, people? I mean, and the guy was laughing about it the whole time. And I thought, what are you going to do if he takes a bite out of your arm? And that's what I was waiting on. I was just waiting for this shark to get mad and take a bite. Now, I really was. And I was like, okay. And little dude came out and he says, Mom, is that a real shark? I said, yeah, it's a real shark. I mean, like him, I thought it was a fake shark at first, but it was real. And now mind, and of course, everybody's making speculation that it was the same shark that had washed up on the beach like a week before. And it's possible. I mean, I don't know. And okay. And I was just like, okay. I mean, granted, I'm not scared of sharks, but I don't want to be in the water when there's one that close to the beach. This just, no. I'm sorry. No, no. It's not happening. Mm-mm. And I was just amazed that this dude was that brave to want to wrestle a shark. More power to you. Have fun with that. That's what you want to do. Go for it. It was kind of like, and again, I was speechless. So it was it was crazy. Definitely. I mean, I go to the beach and I like getting in the water. I go to the beach and just like everybody else and get in the water. But when I know that there's jellyfish or, something in there that's gonna hurt me or that, I don't want to be in the water at the same time that that's in, I don't get in. So why would you get in when there's a shark in the water? I mean, I get it, it's the ocean, and that's where they live. But really? Yeah. So it was okay. So that was my, little kind of like disbelief of the week because I was just okay. Just mm, it, I know y'all are thinking like, okay, yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I really don't, because I was just, hmm yeah. So then let's see what else. And this was why I was waiting for Justin to come home because Justin Thursday morning, last Thursday, Justin had gone um, with friends to a birthday party. His one of his friends that she's been his friend for a really long time, and it was her birthday. So she invited him and a couple other friends out, and they went out, and so they spent all day down at um, and those of you that know the tourist town Ocean City here in Maryland. Well, I'm half an hour away from it. And they went there and they walked up and down the boardwalk and they they hung out and all sorts of, just spent the day with her. And then, they went back to her house and they had uh her mother had a birthday party dinner, and they did that. Well, now this, y'all are gonna laugh at this. So when he left, the sun was out. It was hotter than I don't know what outside. So I'm, watching, this news on the story about this guy with a shark. And all of a sudden, and of course, by this time it had started raining. It was thundering and lightning outside. Thunder, Lord, the lightning was so freaking loud. I jumped 5 feet off my chair. And so Justin messaged or texted me. He's like, "Was it supposed to rain?" And of course, at this time I wasn't sure. Um, they said it was going to rain, but I really couldn't, wasn't really banking on that it was going to rain. Ouch, that it was going to rain, and I just pinched my finger. Um, because it changes all the time. So I told him, I said, well, they said earlier it was going to, but I didn't think it was because it looked like it wasn't going to. And well, by this time, it's pouring his butt off. Long story short, he didn't have a jacket. And well, I had to laugh about it because it was kind of funny. But I guess was walking up and down the boardwalk, and well, he got soaked. So of course, when he texted me and asked me if he had, if it was supposed to rain, I was like, no, why? It was going to, but yeah, why? Well, I didn't have a jacket. What do you need a jacket for? Because I'm going to get wet. Well, at this point in time, I thought he was on his way home. I just assumed, he was on his way home. This is what I get for assuming. It makes, what out of you and me. So I said, well, why do you need a jacket? Are you walking home? No. Well, where are you? I'm still with, Mallory and her friends. Okay. And my friends. Okay. And I said, well, why do you need a jacket? Mom, I'm wet. Okay. Well, because of the simple fact that it had downpoured earlier, he got soaking wet. And I thought, okay, well, I thought between then and the time he got home that he would be somewhat dried off. Obviously not. Because, And this was just kind, and of course I kind of laughed about the whole thing because it was kind of funny. He walks in, he's still soaking sopping wet, and I looked at him and I said, "Did you stay like that after the whole time?" "Yes." "Well, why didn't you?" "Because, Mom, I didn't have anything to change into, and I didn't think about it." So I've told him that from now on, when he goes out with friends, to take an umbrella or a jacket and always have an extra change of clothes in case. Because, mind you, I had to wring them out with my hands, his clothes out with my hands when I was done, when it was all said and done. And I just looked at him and I thought, okay. And he uh he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Nothing." I'm just not even gonna say it because just nothing. And he's like, "What?" And I said, "You're dingy." And he just looked at me and he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're dingy. You don't know how to be prepared." So I had to sit down and explain to him that when, he goes somewhere, try to be prepared. And he's like, "Well, I don't like carrying extra stuff." And I was like, "Well, would you rather carry extra stuff than be unprepared like you were today?" And, and it's not the first time that he's gotten that, that gotten caught in the rain like that. But this was a torrential downpour. And I had to laugh at him because it was funny. And yeah, it was hilarious. And he just, of course, he ended up laughing too because he thought it was funny. But it, he's like, "Well, we weren't thinking it was going to rain." And I said, "Were you the only one that got caught in it? Did everybody else not, did anybody else, not have a jacket?" And he said, "Nobody else brought a jacket." "Okay. So did they get soaking wet like you did?" "Yes, but they changed." "Okay, well, next time take stuff to change in." I mean, that's the only thing I can tell you because, yeah. So I think he's figured out that, from now on, take a change of clothes because you never know when you're going to get stuck in bad weather like that. So but so then he continued to get himself situated and started working on his room again for when he to move. Well, that's not going to happen anymore. Um, my oldest daughter called me yesterday, and well, the first thing she said to me was, "Mom," so what? And she says, we said our greetings and so forth, and she says, "Justin can't come live with me." "Why?" "Because I'm getting ready to lose my apartment." Now, when she tells me this, I'm thinking, okay, she got kicked out, evicted, something. And I said, "What do you mean you're losing your apartment?" She said, "I have to move." And I was like, "Are you getting kicked out?" "No." "Well, okay." And so she went on to explain to me that, um, what's today? Thursday? Yes. Tuesday night, she had, I guess was driving home from work or something, and her car broke down. And it wouldn't shift into uh, fourth gear. So I'm assuming it has something to do with the transmission. Like I said, I am not a mechanic. I'm not mechanically inclined. I know nothing about cars. So, for those of you that are, and you probably will know what I'm talking about when I tell you this, tell you or divulge more into the story or into, the whole thing. Um, Where is the letter A? Oh, there it is. Um, so anyway, it stopped running, basically. Now, mind you, on the highway where she lives in North Carolina, it's like 70 to 75 miles an hour. So, she's, not going, she can't get over on the side of the road fast enough. People are honking at her, they're cussing at her, and everything else. And in the meantime, she's about ready to have a panic attack. Well, she called her boyfriend. Well, he could, I guess, he was at work and probably, and I think, yeah, she said he was at work and couldn't, and didn't hear his phone or something. So she called her dad, and I guess, he couldn't get there right then and there. And well, of course, she's having a panic attack. She ends up having, the panic attack breakdown on the phone with him. And finally, he gets her to calm down enough to get her car, I guess, started back up again. And she said, thank God it could move. And she was able to get it um, to the side of the road. Now, obviously, she was able to get wherever because she was at work yesterday. And so I thought, okay, still, I don't understand what this has to do with her, losing her, having to move out of her apartment. Well, I guess because her car broke down, she needs the money to, try to save up to get her car fixed. Well, the car is not fixable. So she's kind of, excuse my language, shit out of luck, I guess. So, and come to find out, her boyfriend and has offered to let her move in with him. And he has, I guess, two vehicles. I don't know. And he told her, we'll figure it out and we'll get you that way, you can save money up and you can, move in with me, save money up, get back on your feet and, do what you got to do. And she says, and of course, I understand, she doesn't like, this is her exact words, Mom, I don't like it. It's like, what do you mean you don't like it? I mean, he's letting you, use his vehicle and, he wants you to move in with him so that way you can save up money, get back on your feet and save up money to get a car. So I'm confused. And I get where she's coming from. I totally do. She's, she doesn't like using other people's things. Okay. But I told her yesterday, I said, well, I get that. And, I totally understand that. And I said, but honey, you're basically stuck right now. You don't, you know, you're kind of screwed. And I said, everything's coming down on you at once. And, you ought to be lucky that you have a place to, fall. I said, and I'm not saying that, to sound, however. And I said, but, if it wasn't for him and your dad, you'd be kind of stuck right now. And she's like, yeah, I know, but still. And I said, I know. And yes, you're independent. You're like your mom. You're independent. No, we don't always get along, but I totally get it. I understand exactly where you're coming from. And, you know, I don't like asking for help either. And I don't like, taking handouts either because, it makes me, it's just like, yeah. And I said, okay. And I told her, I said, well, I know you're not going to like it. And I know, it sucks and whatever. I said, but, just, I got to think how to put this. I don't even remember how I put it, but I just told her, I said, you know, just, you know, move in with him. And, and he's being very, very supportive of her. Granted, she and I, we have this love-hate relationship and so forth. And there are times that she's really, really ticked off at me that she doesn't want to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. But, and I told her last night, I said, or yesterday, I said, he's giving you the chance to help you out. He's being supportive of you. He wants to be there to help you. I said, let him help you. And I said, it's giving you the chance to get back on your feet and do what you need to do. And, and it also could give you the chance to go back to school because those of you that probably remember me talking about this, she was going to school for nursing and she had to stop because she just didn't have the extra time and money. And so she stopped. And I said, this could give you the chance to do that. And, she agreed, but I could tell in her voice that she she knew, she knows everybody's right, but she don't like doing it. So, and I said, well, again, and she's like, so please tell Justin. And I said, well, I hate to kind of tell you this. And I said, but I don't really think he was really going to be making any kind of, you know, he wasn't really making any kind of headway to move down there. Granted, he was doing cleaning stuff out of his room, but it was with me basically, nagging him and driving him crazy about it. So he's I told him yesterday. And I told her, I said, I'll tell him. I said, but he doesn't seem to really, it doesn't seem to bother him and concern him. So she's, she said, okay, well, please tell him. And I said, I will. So I told him, and he just kind of, he didn't say anything to me. He didn't have any kind of comment one way or the other. After I told him, he just walked off. So I thought, mm-hmm. So I did my part. I told him. And I've been trying to get him to, figure out what he wants to do with himself. And he's just kind of, I don't think he's ready. And it's not, I mean, he's 18. I'm not going to make him move out. I, I'm not going to do that. I want him to have some kind of plan and, some kind of, to be able to take care of himself before he moves out because yeah, he's not, just don't think he's ready to be an adult yet. So I'm just going to give him a little bit and figure it out from there because I have no clue. And of course, Skylar was looking forward to having the bedroom all to himself, but that's not happening anytime soon. So we'll see. And of course, the reason why Skylar was looking forward to having the bedroom by himself was because he could sleep in there and not have to be woke up in the middle of the night by Justin screaming his head off at a video game. Because Justin had, yeah, Justin can play a video game until all hours of the night. And he sometimes when sometimes he wakes Sky up, and it's getting annoying, very much so. And I have, I've talked to him blue in the face, and I've told Justin, you've got to be respectful of others, especially, your brother. And of course, me and his sister, because I'm in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And I just, I don't like, and of course, I don't know if it's, he loses track of time. I don't know what the deal is. There for a while, he was going to bed early. But now, lately, I'm not sure what the deal is. And, so it's damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. And, but, I told him last night, because he got really, really loud. And I told him last night, I said, dude, I said, your brother is asleep, because he was laying there zonked out on his bed. And I said, your brother's asleep. I said, you're going to wake him up. And I said, and then I'm going to be really, really angry at you. Well, apparently, he probably, I'm assuming that that's why Sky came into my room last night at some point. I have no clue. He, I guess, was going to go lay out in the living room, but I'm not sure what changed his mind on that one. But he came in my room, and I didn't even know he was in here until this morning when I got up. And I was like, okay. And Sky said, he was loud. So I'm assuming that's what, I guess he woke him up. I don't know. And it makes it hard because, for Justin, because, especially with him having insomnia lately, I get, and that's the only thing I can come up with, is that's what it is. And not being tired, and then being up, and then of course, what happens, and then of course he, so I don't know. So I'm trying to figure it out, what we can do now that he's not going to move out and move with his sister, what we can do to make life a little bit easier for both of them in that bedroom, because yeah, it can be annoying sometimes, which, and of course Sky's, scared to sleep in there, because Sunday he woke up with his eye all swollen. His right eye was swollen. I thought he had pink eye. And he I gave him, medicine, and sorry, my arm is itchy. Gave him medicine and kind of kept him isolated away from everybody. And I don't know if it's just me, but when somebody gets, pink eye like that, I feel like the nastiest person in the whole world. I really do. And so I busted my butt, and I told Justin, I said, we're going to clean this room this week. And I said, and we're not just going to go over it and whatever. I said, we're going to go through and deep clean this thing. We've already done this once, or he has. So I don't think he did a very good job, obviously, because that's the only place I can think of that, I mean, Sky, he has his eyes not bothering him now, but that's the only thing I can think of is their bedroom. So we're going to be, yeah, we're going to be cleaning that room big time because, no, we're not going to have this. So yeah, we thought it was pink eye and ready to take him to the doctor on Monday. And thank goodness I noticed Sunday it wasn't pink eye. It wasn't what I thought it was because his eyes started, the swelling started going down and the redness in his eyes were gone. So I'm thinking maybe it's allergies. I'm hoping that's what it was. So I am going to keep an eye on him. He's been getting really paranoid again. And like earlier, he came out to me, Mommy, my eye feels funny. I think my eye's going to be infected again. Come to find out he had sleep in his eye. So yeah, he's becoming a little hypochondriac. And I told him, I said, dude, you can't get paranoid every time something happens to you. You just gotta, take a deep breath and, we'll figure it out. And he just looked at me like, but Mom, dude, go get a tissue, wipe your eye. It's probably just sleep in your eye. I said, Mommy gets sleep in her eye, especially, after taking a nap or, getting up in the morning. I get sleep in my eye all the time. So chill. So he came back out, looked at me, and he says, that's what it was. Really? Really? Okay. So, yeah. So, between the both of them, they're driving me crazy. I'm telling you. If you all hear about me being put in the nut house, that's why. Because my two boys are going to drive me in totally bonkers. If they haven't already. Just saying. So, let's see. Yesterday, I went to the grocery store and, all right, time for a little itty bitty rant, I guess. So, yesterday morning, I've been looking for a, Q-cent for cross stitch because my hoop is starting to be this big, pain in the rear end. So, I went on, because I have Michael's app on my phone. So, I went on the app and searched it. First I couldn't find him, so I went on Amazon, found him on Amazon. My only issue with that was it came like 4 in a package, and I don't need 4, I just need 1. So anyway, I went ahead and put it in my cart. It's still in my cart actually, and said, well, I'm going to check Michael's out, see what I can find, and go from there. Well, Michael's was cheaper. The ones on Amazon were like, good grief, I don't remember, maybe like $5 more. I can't remember. So, or no, it was the same price, but with the 20% off coupon, it went down to like, I forget, like 20, not like $18. I can't remember. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just, order it and then come and pick it up at the store. So, I went for the in-store option, and well, it said they were sold out. So I thought, okay, well, you know what? We're just going to order them. So I ordered it, and so we go to the grocery store yesterday. My best friend, wanted to go to the grocery store yesterday, so we went, and I told her, I need to stop at Michael's because I need to pick up some floss and something else. I can't remember. And it went. Oh, it was a thing of stickers for my planner. And I'm back there, and I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna, see if they have the size Q-snap that I want. Well, at first I couldn't find them, even though, I'm down the aisle where the cross-stitch supplies are. And as many times as I've been in Michael's, I know that aisle like the back of my hand. So I thought, okay, are you serious right now? They don't have any. Well, I guess I didn't. I wasn't looking in the right place because I was like, dang, if it was a snake, it would have bit me right in the face. They're hanging right there. Well, they had two sizes, a smaller one, and I forget what the measurements were for that. And then they had the one that I've been trying to find, or that I ordered from Michael's website. Okay, y'all ready for this? It was on clearance for $8. So, well, needless to say, I was not happy. I'm standing there in the middle of the aisle trying to cancel the order that I placed on .com. Couldn't do it because they'd already processed everything, and and it's getting ready to be shipped out. And I'm like, okay, well, of course I didn't know that at the time, because for some reason when you go on the app, you can't cancel it on the app. It won't let you. I tried. I've looked. I went through the whole entire thing looking for it. Couldn't figure out a way to cancel it. So I go up to the cash register to bring up my floss. And of course, I didn't get the sticker thing, but you all don't care about that. But anyway, so I'm standing there and I'm explaining to this cashier. Now, mind you, she's an older lady she's older than I am, and which that has no bearing on the situation whatsoever. But y'all might think it does after I tell you what happens. So I'm standing there, and I'm explaining to the cashier that I was trying to get the Q snaps, and I had ordered them from the website, and came here because the only reason I had ordered them from the website was because they said they were out of stock in the store, and that's the only reason I ordered it. And I was like, I want to cancel the order and get the Q snaps. Either she didn't understand what I was saying or what I was trying to ask her to do, or she's really that ditzy, because she turns around and she looks at me and she's like, okay, well, I need your 20% off coupon. Now, mind you, the other customers behind me heard my conversation, heard what I need, what I was trying to ask this cashier to help me do. And I'm standing there and I'm looking at her and I'm like, yes, I'm going to pay for this, but I need you to tell me how to cancel something on the website that I already ordered so that I can go ahead and get the same thing here, but on clearance for the clearance price. And needless to say, that didn't happen. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go home. And I told my best friend what I was going to do. And I said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to do it. Or no, we sat out in the car. and I tried to do it there. Well, I couldn't cancel the order out because number one, they'd already taken it off my card. Number two, um, they had already processed the order, and the order was, being prepared, getting ready to ship. And I guess when can't try to, I guess after that happens, you can't cancel the order or whatever. So, needless to say, I was not a happy person when I got home. I was like, are you just like seriously kidding me right now? Okay. I mean, I could have saved a whole $10. That's what is irritating to me. I was so mad. And, but, it's okay. It's whatever. I'll, I'll know next time before I order anything from Walmart or from Michael's to go to the store first to look to see before I trust that they say that it's out of stock and go check first before I decide, okay, well, I'm just going to buy it from Michael's online instead of, going to the store to find out if it's there before, it just, I was not happy. I learned my lesson. So, yeah, my whole little, that's my whole little rant. It just, and my thing about that too is, if they're if it's on clearance, say it's on clearance, especially on website, app, whatever, and if it's not sold out, then don't put it as out of stock on the app. To me, that makes no sense, especially if you walk into the store and it's there, hanging up. And it wasn't just one; it was two of them. So I mean, I don't. I've worked in retail, so, but I've never had to deal with online sales like that. But that would be my only common sense, is that if there's still some hanging up or in the store in stock on the shelf, even though they're on clearance, still, you know, don't put it down as out of stock on the website. To me, that's just not, that's just, stupid, but that's just me. So, yeah. But, yeah, that was my little rant. Sorry, guys. That just, it just irritated me to the point that I was not happy. And the only reason I'm buying a Q snap is because there's two reasons. Number one, I've always stitched with a hoop all my life, except for I had a lap stand and I enjoyed it, and I learned and I taught myself basically, or I conditioned myself to stitch with two hands. And so with a hoop, it's hard to do. And I know people tell me, you can do it. It's not that hard. Okay, if you say so. And I'm just used to, now that I know how to do it, stitch with two hands or stitch two-handed, it's so much easier for me. And now, I mean, I've never really complained about it at all whatsoever. I don't complain. And but yeah, this hoop is getting on my nerves. And so I started looking for the Q snap, and I also started looking for some kind of stand that I can use the Q snap with, and I found one. So this week, um, on Wednesday, I'm going to place the order. It's for basically a lap stand that holds the Q snap. So I'm going to order that this week. If they're still in stock, I'm hoping and praying that it is. And I'm going to, you know, use it because to me, it's easier, and it makes my stitching, look a whole lot better. So, that's, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like my hoops. I've used my hoops since I've started stitching, but it's just getting to a point now. It's causing problems with my arthritis and my thumb. My thumb hurts like you wouldn't believe when I'm done using the hoop. And uh, so I'm trying to make it easier. And I mean, I want to make it easier for the stitching and make it easier for when I do start my drill with me videos up um, after the stitching stand comes, so that, I don't feel like, I don't know what I want to say to that. I guess now I've totally lost my train of thought. Yeah. So we'll see. So let's see. That's it, guys. My goodness, I've already gone on for 50 minutes, and it's just, and now I don't even half of what I want to talk about. So anyway, that's all for today. And I'm gonna go and do my life thing with my kids and all that lovely junk. Get me some more coffee because I'm so tired. I'm still tired, and it's 12 o'clock. So until next time, guys, have a great week, and I will see you all for the next drill with me.